you learned English a year and a half ago,
Yeah,
and now
that's
you
right.
run your own business.
When I started in this industry, I was afraid maybe to feel less than them. But people here is so friendly. We really feel like I
Oh,
want to go to our customers. We want to help them. Sometimes we don't feel comfortable, but if we just try, maybe the things can happen in the ways that you never imagined.
hello everyone. Welcome back to the Service Business Show. My name's Jingjing. I'm your host, and today we have Estefany from Cherish Home. Welcome to the show, Estefany.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm even more excited to have you. As I just told you, right? You're one of the first lady that I get to invite to the show because somehow women just not very comfortable putting themselves in front of the camera. And then also, I think initially you were talking about, English and all of that, but we had a call. You speak very nice English.
Thank you. It's a big challenge. It's not so long time since I started to learn in English. I think it's like 1 year and a half. So it's a big challenge, but I'm so happy to have this challenge. It's like new in all the ways. So I'm so glad.
Wait, help me to understand this. It took you, so you learned English a year and a half ago,
Yeah,
and now
that's
you
right.
run your own business. Something
Yes.
something doesn't add up here. Okay, so maybe let's give the audience a background. We had a pre-recording chat, so I have a bit of your, understanding of your background, but maybe help everyone to understand, where you're from, what's your mother language, and then where you're at right now.
Yeah, sure. I'm from Colombia, the capital city, which is Bogota. I started a project to learn English, I think, since the school, normally like English classes, but I think that is not like a high quality of learning there. So after a couple of years, I decided to maybe move to a new country. My mother language is Spanish.
Mm,
So it's not too difficult in the way that, for example, we have very similar words, Spanish and English. We have a lot similar words. So it has been like a big challenge for me, like be in a new country, really far away to my home country, a
yeah,
new language, new people, and now new business. But I'm so glad to have had like this kind of experience.
amazing. And so when you first came to Australia, were you like came here for work or for studying? What was it for?
I think the main objective was about the learning English,
Ah,
but also maybe have a new experience, like
mm,
new places. Here in Australia, we have around different countries, like there are all of them far away to my home country. So for me, it was kind of opportunity to visit a new place, meet new people, travel around, and
yeah.
learn in English.
Yeah, makes sense. And so you came here as a, English, non-English speaker, and then you spent a year and a half learning English. So how did you get into this industry?
Okay, I think when we came here, I came with my partner,
Yeah,
and we have to change everything about our lives. It's not just travel to the other part of the world. It's like kind of restart all
hmm
about our jobs, our professional careers, because I'm professional in marketing. But when we arrived, we have to leave all of them behind us
yeah,
because for the language, it's not easy maybe to get a good kind of job in
yeah,
for example, marketing or in a good or big company. So we decided to start with this amazing industry, which is
yeah,
cleaning.
yeah.
But in the start was doing the house cleaning by ourselves. We start with this big challenge. Was amazing because we can see like in the other part, in the other side of this industry. And we understood the importance to have this kind of services for people when you can help them with a big important part of their lives. I think that if you have a good space, a clean space, smelling well, all change. All
Yeah.
your environment change and you
Yeah.
can feel it. We start with this and we start to say, okay, this industry is so good, it's amazing. We start to, I don't know how to say, but was really, really good for us. And by the time we decide to start our own business, we said, okay, we have all for starting. We, we know how we can start. It's not easy, but we can try. And day by day is a big challenge for us.
It's very inspiring that you guys moved to a new country in a very short period of time, learn English, and then starting the business. I'm sure throughout the whole time, right? There are days like you're just like, oh, this is so hard. It's
Yeah.
not. Both you and I know that running a cleaning business, your clients are complaining about the service, your workers are running late, and on this side you have more clients trying to come in. I need a book, but you don't have manpower, and then you have to make payroll to workers. All the things can add up happening at the same time, right? And you feel like,
Yeah.
what am I doing this for? So, did you ever have time feeling like this?
Yeah, so it's a new market that we are trying to understand. This is one of the most important things to understand what is the most important for people, why people find like a new company for help them to their houses, their business. And we know the importance for have a good quality of services,
Mm.
like a company that make them feel like trust that we
Mm.
can help them back.
Question. So it's very interesting because I found you through your Google Ads. I saw you were running some campaigns, and then these are the company I know. If a company you're willing to invest in marketing, that means you want to grow, right? You want to build a bigger business. That's how I found you. But it's very interesting that English is not your first language, but you are probably trying all the copywriting yourself, setting up the campaign all by yourself. Are you using any, let's say, tools that help you to set up these campaigns, or you're still doing everything manually?
No, for sure, I'm using apps which help me with all of this big challenge. I think like in in artificial intelligence, sorry,
Yeah,
artificial
yeah.
intelligence, it has been my partner, my best friend all about it because it's kind of tool that I use every day for do most of the tasks that I have every day, not just in my business, I think in all about my life. So I have these kind of tools that are helping me with some of the ideas that I have because I think that I'm confident that I have to know how to do good marketing strategies, how to do maybe some campaigns in Google Ads, in Facebook Ads. But sometimes maybe like I'm not community manager, so this is one of my most difficult or the most challenge for me. So I use this kind of platforms or apps that helping me to do all these kind of activities.
Amazing. Do you mind sharing what tools are you using? Maybe this is like
Yeah,
the
sure.
preview for the podcast.
Yeah, sure. Is the first one, ChatGPT, uh, is the platform that I'm using every day for ask maybe a lot kind of questions. Is kind of support for me in everything. Also, for example, for design the different posts and videos and all of that, I use Canva, which is
Mm.
because I'm not designer neither. This kind of apps or platforms help me to get this kind of material. And also, for example, the website is with artificial intelligence as well. For example, all about the design or some images or some kind of chat box, etc. It's with this kind of platforms.
Amazing. Amazing. Good. So, would you say starting a cleaning, how difficult it is starting a cleaning business? One being very difficult, one being not difficult at all. Which one, where would you rate it?
I think like in the middle, 5. And this is why we decide to start, because we know that is a lot of people outside that is looking for this kind of services. So in this kind of alternative is so good because we have the
Mhm.
market waiting for this kind of services. But by the other hand, we have a really competitive market. It's a lot of
Yes.
people offering as well this kind of services, especially people like us that who come from overseas. And there are a lot of people who is offering this kind of services. So I think this is the most difficult part, because you have to offer people different things, like really value to that they can decide and they can choose you for doing this kind of service. I think it's difficult in this way because it's really competitive. So we have to learn day by day the best way to keep going and to get
Yeah.
new customers. When we start, maybe the first 3 months were really good because we really get new customers and was really excited. But by the time it started to be like, uh,
You're going.
yeah. So in this point, it started to be really difficult for us because we start to think, okay, why is the reason because we are not growing? What we have to
Mm,
do for keep going and to get more customers, to get more value in the market. Maybe there are a lot big companies as well that have maybe a lot time here in Australia, maybe 10, 20 years. So it's kind of things that we have to thinking about it day by day and trying to have new strategies, new
yeah.
communication. So I think this is the difficult part.
It's the positioning of your brand, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
there's
right.
so many companies out there. Some of them they go for the cheapest solution ever. Some of them they go for premium brands. Some of them they go for efficiency, trust. It's like, so what do you associate your brand with? What do you think makes you guys stand out amongst the competition?
I think that we try to offer really like customized service. It's not just maybe you have three bedrooms, so this is the cost of your service. We just go and do the things that the normally service has included. We try to understand the necessities of our customers. We try
Mm,
to get them a good service before to
mm,
the cleaning service. I try to talk with them to understand what they are looking for or what is the best kind of service that they are really needing, because sometimes they think that, okay, with a general clean is more than enough. After half a talk or half a chat, I understand like, okay, it's better for you a deep clean and maybe we can do this or these activities or a bond clean because you're moving out. It's kind of communication. It's not just a chatbot who is answering all the questions that the customer have. I try to take the customers by myself, the communications. The service as well is a really important part for us. My husband normally go with the people that is new in our company to
yeah.
see how the service actually is, because sometimes we can just have an interview, we just meet the people, but it's important to know in the real life what is
Yeah,
the job that they are doing. So we try to keep the eye always in the service, in the staff who is working with us, and
yeah,
we try to really offer customers a good high quality of services and good communication after the
yeah.
service. Always try to have a kind of review or know how was the service for them, is if they have some kind of feedback for improving for in our company. I think that this is the way that we try to have value for our customers.
Yeah, I do think the human touch part is something extremely important, especially these day and age. Everyone is trying to automate a lot of things. But if you are really taking the time to understand customers' concern, for example, when they tell you, "Oh, I want to book a cleaning because I have 3 children," then you know that they're booking cleaning because they don't have time. Then
Yeah.
they might need other things, right? Okay, do you live in a condominium or do you live in having a house? If they have a house, then okay, probably they need gardener as well. They need like plumbing support, maintenance of the pipes. So you kind of understand the living situation and then recommend the right service so you can help them to fix a lot more things at one go. So I'm curious, what's your best selling product or service?
Regular cleaning houses is
Regular
the
cleaning. Oh,
most, yeah, yeah.
it's interesting because someone told me, someone was asking me one time, right? Do Australians actually book regular cleaning? Because a lot of platforms, for example, helping, where I used to work for, it's Uber for home services. We just could not make it work, right? But then when I talk to other people in, other parts of the world, it seems like it's working. I think the key here is for regular cleaning is really the human touch that you're mentioning. Um, so do you mind sharing, how often does your clients they stay and then become your regular client? What's the chance, gut feeling, out of 10 customers?
Normally it's kind of weekly or fortnightly, most of the
Hmm.
customers,
Yeah,
which is so good because normally the first time is a little bit difficult because we are trying to have to do all the tasks in a good time. But
yeah,
after that is good because they normally ask for do some new things at home or is try to keep a good, clean and safe space in
mm,
order to thinking about it, for example, in the babies or pets, if you have, for example, a carpet clean and you
yeah.
can have a good environment for them. So it's kind of keep a good space. So they're trying to have like weekly or fortnightly services.
I see, I see. So far you've been operating in this industry for almost 2 years now, right? 2 years plus.
No, I think less than 1 year.
Okay, less than 1 year. Okay, it's still relatively new, but it seems like you guys have been growing quite fast, right? Because I can see that you have already expanded your teams. So, question for you. What are the misconceptions, things that you thought it was true, but actually when you run the business now it's not true?
Maybe I was thinking when I started that it will be really easy to get the customers. I was like,
Right.
okay, I think that there are a lot of people looking for this kind of service, so it will be really easy to get these customers. Maybe if I get one customer and I offer them a good quality of service, I'm more than
Mm-hmm.
sure that they will be with me for a long time.
Right, right.
But yeah, but it's not. It's kind of, it's not easy to get the customers, the new customers, especially because it's not a big company. So
Mm,
if they see a really big brand or company, they will prefer normally to have this kind of services. But I think was the challenge, the big challenge for us, understand how can we offer another thing different that they can choose us. And the customer service is not easy, I think, because of the language as well.
yeah,
Sometimes it's really difficult. So I think it has been the big challenge for us.
I see. I see. So, how do you overcome all of these challenges? Obviously, marketing, I saw you're running ads now, so I know that one's fixed. Customer service. So, are you still the only person doing customer service, or you have someone to help you?
I'm with my partner in all the activities,
I see.
especially, for example, in all about social media, website. He's interior designer, but he knows about design in general. He's helping me in all the task that we have to do every day. And we have a friend, Colombian friend, who is helping us with the some of the ads as well,
Mm,
especially like Google Ads. So I
mm.
have kind of support with some of the things that we have to do.
Do you see yourself building this business and growing this business for the next 5 to 10 years?
Have a kind of crazy dream with my partner because to be honest, we love Australia. We love people here. We love the quality of life here, which is amazing for us. And it's a good experience for us to be here. But we really miss our country, our
Um,
family, our friends. So we decide just to be here for a while, maybe 2 or 3 more years. But our project is to manage the business from Colombia. Maybe have some people here, trust like people here who can help us to keep going with the business and running it. The idea is maybe to go back to Colombia, which is so good for us because it's kind of business in another part of the world. It earns in dollars, so it's
yeah,
good for us.
for sure, for sure. So what do you think is the huge difference in between living in Australia versus Colombia? Why can't you build a similar business in Colombia?
um, I think that about the business, one of the that was actually really different for us when we arrived here and start to know about this industry is that in Colombia, this kind of services used to be like one day in a home. It's like one person spent the whole day helping with the different tasks at
Mm-hmm.
home. But here is 1, 2, 3 hours that you have to do all really fast. And maybe
Mm,
the same time, the same things that you have to do in Colombia, you have to do here really faster and really quickly. For us was like, okay, this is completely different because
ah,
in our country, actually, people normally do some extra, I don't know, task kind of the lunch or the dinner, extra help at
yeah,
home during the day, but it's the
yeah,
whole day. So here you can do in one day 3, 4, 5 houses,
yeah.
which is really crazy for people who is working in this industry, but it's so good because you can see more money, you can spend your time in different houses. So I think it's and this is for us other of the good things for this business, and is we are trying to help some Colombian people who is arriving here, who is trying to get new opportunities, and sometimes for us it's not easy. It's a big challenge. It's
Yeah.
really huge when we arrive. It feels really like we feel, I think, afraid, like, oh my God, what is this? I have to change my life. I'm in the other part of the world. So we are trying to help people who is here looking for new opportunities. But I think in the same way that we are learning a lot about this industry, it was like one time that we thought, okay, why not maybe in Colombia, if we want to go back, why
Hmm.
not have this kind of the same kind of
Set up.
service?
Yeah.
Yeah. So could be like a good idea. We have to study how is the industry now in Colombia because we have been here for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
In this time, all changed, especially after the COVID. All of
Yeah.
this time changed a lot the things. But I think that the way that is here is so good and it's so good for people, for houses, for business, but for people who is working in this industry as well.
So since you mentioned, right, in Australia here, a lot of clients they book you for 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, and you have to do everything really fast. Do you think speed is something that they pay a lot of attention to? Or you really think that okay, it's for example, some clients they really want you to clean their kitchens, then they only care about kitchens. Which one do you think they want more?
We have all kind of customers. We have the kind of customer that say, I just need your help for 2 hours and I'm sure that you can do all the job in this time. So sometimes it's like this and we can do the activities in the time that the customer is asking for. But sometimes we have kinds of customers that say, okay, I know that I have now a big challenge in my home.
Mhm.
So you can spend maybe 2 hours just in the kitchen, maybe next time just in the bathrooms, next time in the other areas. And for work, we can start with the whole house. So
When-
it's good
mhm.
when we have the I think that try people to think, okay, my home is really clean and I'm more than sure there is enough time. Or
Yeah.
maybe if you can say, okay, I know that it's a long time that I don't have a good or properly cleaning here at home. So maybe for first time I can pay a little bit more or the service will be a little bit longer. So sometimes it's not easy for us and we prefer to say when we arrive at the customer home, say, okay, we are sure that we need more time, that we speak with you because it's not enough time. So, do you
Yeah.
want that we do the service for you, or you prefer that maybe find another kind of, I don't know, company? Because we prefer to be honest with the customer that in 2 hours we cannot provide you a good quality or a high quality of service. So, it's not enough time.
Even if you are already there and when you see the house, you would tell them, sorry, we cannot serve you in 2 hours. Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because we prefer to have a good quality of service. We prefer
Yeah.
don't do in 2 hours a bad service just for do it. So
Yeah.
normally people here is kind of okay, I got it, I understand, so let's do it. Or maybe okay, so today maybe we can just focus in these areas and maybe next
Yeah.
time we can focus. So we try to talk with them in order to give them a good service because it's not just sell and say okay we will try to do whatever we can. So the idea is to have a good service for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's very important in this industry is to manage customers' expectation. And then I think for you guys, you know that your key is to deliver quality service. Therefore, if you know that you cannot deliver it, then you would rather say no, right? So I'm curious, what's the most ridiculous request you've ever heard?
I think that we have had a couple of them, but it's difficult to say because it's kind of dirty, really dirty place. So when our team arrived there, and sent us photos like, okay, look at this place. It's impossible to do in the time that you are asking me. So it's kind of, we have like couple of cases that people is asking for something really impossible to do.
How do you communicate to the client? Hey, your place is too dirty to be
No,
cleaned.
it's impossible, and it's so difficult to find the way to tell them like, okay, we need more time. So we try to manage the situation because it's not easy to, or it's not a way to say to a customer, okay, your place is so dirty, so we need more time. But we try to find a way to talk with them in order to tell them like, okay, we need a little bit more time because we want to spend time maybe organizing or maybe making the beds, or we see that maybe the bathroom needs deep clean. So we try to let them know which areas are needing like more focusing.
Mm,
So it's more like the way that we try to communicate with them, which is not
mm,
easy. Sometimes there are people who is like, okay, I don't understand why if my place is good.
dirty.
So but always we try to find the best way to talk with them.
Yeah. It's very funny. A lot of clients they don't see the dirt. They think their house is okay, but then when actually cleaners going in, and to see it's like, oh my goodness. Um,
All time.
so yeah, when you mentioned when you guys first started, you go in yourself, as a cleaner yourself, right? Obviously, I met you like now the second time, and I think you're very good looking from a woman's perspective. So when you go into houses, have you ever had cases where you feel like a little bit uncomfortable?
No, to be honest, when I started in this industry, I was afraid maybe to feel less than them. Maybe kind of people a little bit rude or
Mm,
maybe in a bad behavior. But to be honest, people here is so friendly, always is kind of, you're my angel, you always help me at home. I'm so happy to have you here at home. Or message kind of, after you do my house cleaning, all feels really different. So people is so like thankful about this
mm.
job. So when I start with my partner, we really feel comfortable. We really feel like I
Oh,
want to go to our customers. We want to help them. We want to change their home, their environment. So it was a good experience for us because it was really new for us. We have to live like the house, office work, like
yeah,
this kind of business behind us. But I think people here was always so friendly with us. So it's so good.
amazing. So, as we're wrapping up this episode, this wonderful episode, I have so much fun recording this with you here. Is there anything you want the audience to take away from our conversation?
Um, I think that is more about not about the business or the industry, but
Mm,
about maybe sometimes we can feel if you are in a new place, like you feel like you don't have opportunities in a new place because you don't have the language, you don't meet people in the new place, or even in your own home. Sometimes we are feeling kind of afraid to try to get our dreams into the reality. Or maybe you say, okay, it could be really difficult for me. I don't know how to design a post. I don't know how to be a community manager. There are maybe a lot of things that we don't know how to do. But currently, there are a lot tools, a lot
mm,
things that they can help us to do the things. Is more like kind of invitation to just try it. If you
yeah.
don't try, you never will know. Okay, if you try and the things doesn't work, okay, you can say, okay, I try, maybe I did this or this wrong, but I can try in a new way, or I can try in another industry, or I can try different things that sometimes we don't feel comfortable, but if we just try, maybe the things can happen in the ways that you never imagined. So I never
Oh,
imagined before to came here to have this kind of opportunity, but we just try. And when we start, we say like, okay, this is a little bit crazy, but why no? If it doesn't work, doesn't matter. We can try again and again.
you know, I love this trying mindset. And this is something I truly, truly agree with you as well. A lot of young people are now living in their comfort zone. They're not traveling so much. They're not trying new things. They're afraid of going to a new country, and not to mention, learning a new language. And it's like, right? This is very inspiring. I think for any people who are thinking about leaving their country and thinking about, okay, what's the better thing to do? And as you mentioned, this industry is changing. The stigma that people think that you are lower because you are a cleaner running a cleaning company is changing now. People are respecting each other. They understand it's just a job and it's potentially someone's career as well, right? So I think I love this conversation, and it's just so refreshing hearing you talking about it, because you're building this is very new, but at the same time you got crazy tractions in your city, and you're getting Google reviews, you're getting Facebook reviews. So I hope podcast is going to help you to continue amplifying your brand, and also always lovely to see who's behind the brand. It's so lovely talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You know that I was thinking about it because when I got the invitation, I was like, okay, I really like the idea, but how can I do it if I don't feel like confident with my English now? And I know that I have a long way now to learn about all about English, but I said the same. Okay, just try,
I,
just do it. And he was like, okay, you can do it. You can do it. Just try. So
yeah.
I'm so happy to this opportunity. It's so good. I feel nervous, but I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much.